I'll leave links in the video description so that you don't have to write them down. I am applying for my passport for the very first time. We're going to navigate our browser to travel.state.gov. We're then going to click on Need a Passport, and then we want to apply in person for a passport because it's the very first time we're getting a passport. And so the next thing we need to do is we need to fill out the form DS11. And to do that, we're going to scroll down, and you can see right here the steps to apply. I'm going to click the plus button. Two ways you can do this. You can use the form filler, which basically you fill it out online and then you print it, or you can use the PDF. We're going to use a PDF for the example where you handwrite it by pen. Let's click on it. You can see it's 6 pages long, and this form will get you a lot of detailed information. But let's scroll down to where we actually fill it out. Now, if you're a standard user like me and my family, you're going to check or click on a U.S. passport book and just a regular book. A regular book versus a large book you'll have more pages. So if you travel a lot, you may want to get a large book. And from what I understand, there's no extra charge for a large book. The application is pretty standard. You fill out all your personal information. And then when you come to this section with your passport folder, I would advise you just to wait until you get to your appointment before you adhere your picture to this. And I believe the representative will do that for you if I remember correctly. And whatever you do, do not sign this form until you're actually at your appointment in front of the representative. We'll continue to scroll down, just more information that you need to fill out, and that's the form DS11. So fill it out online and print a copy, or print a copy of the PDF and do it by hand. Now let's make an appointment with our local post office so we can apply in person, because again, it is our first time applying for a United States passport. And just go to Google and type in USPS passport appointment, and you can see right here is the first thing that pops up. Click on schedule an appointment. Step 1, choose a service. We're going to select new passport only. Adults, we're just going to do 1 for this example. Step 2, we're going to search by location. I'm going to type in my zip code, which is already pre-filled. I'm going to hit search within a 20-mile radius. And right here, I know where my nearest post office is. I'm going to click on select a date. Today is January 15th, and you can see there's nothing in January here in California. The first available date is February 12th. Your mileage may vary. I'm going to select the date. And from then, I'm going to select a time, and then it's going to ask you to verify your identity, text verification, email verification. Since I've already gone through this process, I'm not going to do that, but that's what you'll be doing. And now that we have an appointment, the next step was we need to gather all the documents that we'll need physically to bring to this appointment. First and foremost, you have to prove U.S. citizenship. Then by all means, that probably means your birth certificate. And you can see there is mine. And your birth certificate has to be the real deal. It cannot be a photocopy. It has to have the official stamp here. Now, the unusual thing about bringing your birth certificate is that the post office will take your physical birth certificate from you. But don't worry, they're going to give it back to you. It came about a week after I received our passports in the mail. So again, you'll be without a birth certificate from anywhere from 8 to 10 weeks because the passport services will have it. So just keep that in mind. And then you will need a form of ID. I was able to use my California driver's license. If you don't have a driver's license, you do need a state ID. Now, I also was the United States Army, so I brought that ID, and I currently work for the United States government, so I brought that ID. And of course, you'll need to bring your Social Security card. So my advice to you is bring every physical form of identification you have to your appointment. And for our passport photos, we went to our local UPS store. However, me, my wife, my son, when we got to the appointment, my photo from UPS store was not acceptable. I had to get a picture there at the appointment by the post office, and that costs an extra $15. So just be prepared. If you have your own passport photos, you may have to retake them because the ones you have may not be acceptable, FYI. And just to be safe, make multiple copies of your identification and all your documents so it's less hassle when you do get to your appointment. So now, how much is it going to cost me out of pocket to get this passport? We're going to go back to the website. We're going to click on the fee calculator. Don't worry, I'll leave a link in the description. You're going to answer a few basic questions. I live in the United States. Let's give a birthday here. And have you ever had a U.S. passport? No. Let's see. We're going to check all we can apply. I'm going to get a passport book. I'm just going to do standard 6 to 8 weeks. I'm going to check standard delivery. I'm not in a hurry, but you can see if you want expedited, it's going to be extra $60. And on top of that, if you need 1 to 2 day delivery, an extra $19.53. So for me, just standard and standard, calculate. And of course, it's $165. $130 for the passport, $35 for the application fee.
You have to pay for the application fee separately, as you can see right here. That's $35. And you can use cash, money order, personal check, or in this case, I used a credit card to pay for these application fees.
So the passport costs $130. You cannot, I repeat, you cannot use a credit or debit card to pay for the passport. You need to use a personal check or a money order, cashier's check, and I believe traveler's check. All right, for me, I use my personal checkbook. So if you're buying multiple passports, just be prepared. You have to write a separate check for each passport. So in my case, I wrote 3 $130 checks. And again, if you do not have a checkbook, just bring the cash. The representative will make the separate money orders if you have multiple passports. Okay, you're done with the application process. You've made your appointment. Now it's time to track to see when you're actually going to receive your brand new passport. We're going to go to this website right here, passports.state.gov. Don't worry, I'll put a link in the description. We're going to click on the privacy checkbox and hit submit. We're going to fill out this information. I'm going to do this off camera, but I'll be right back. And then after you hit submit, you can see right here your application status. You can see that mine was mailed on the 17th of October. But since you just had your appointment, it'll say application in process. And of course, just give it a few business days before you check your status. So for me, we had an appointment on Friday, August 18th. We wrote the 3 personal checks. By the next Tuesday, those checks were cashed, so I knew that it was in progress, and we received our passports on October 21st, so just a little bit over 2 months, or basically 8 weeks. So this is how my wife and I went about getting our passports, because we're planning on taking a trip in the very near future. So if you have any other suggestions, any comments, tips, or tricks for filling out the information and getting your passport in a timely manner, please leave them in the comments below. Make sure to put a like on this video so it can spread to other people who are considering getting their passports in 2024 and beyond. Folks, I want to thank you for watching, and as always, I'm going to see you in the next video. Peace.